Sazerac Rye whiskey. Is it all hype? Let's find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys, such as bourbons, ryes, American style whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads or live streams. So today, Sazerac Rye whiskey. Is it all hype? Well, let's find out. So this is a 90 proof rye whiskey or 45% ABV. It is non-age stated. Thought it was maybe upwards of that 6-year age range, which is a nice year or an age for a rye whiskey. Mash bill on this one is 51% corn, 39%, or excuse me, 51% rye, 39% corn, and 10% malted barley. MSRP on this is going to be anywhere from that $30 to maybe $40 range if you're able to find it. I know at times this one can be a little bit difficult to find, but it does appear that Buffalo Trace or Sazerac is starting to pump out more of this stuff. So hopefully, if it's not available now, it will become very soon. So typically what I try to do with most or all of my reviews is we'll go through the appearance, we'll nose it, taste it, and then get into anything else really having to do with the whiskey itself. So why don't we go ahead, we'll give ourselves a nice little pour here, and we'll get into the review. So, and as you can see, I've kind of gone outside a little bit today. It's a nice spring day here in the state of Wisconsin, and figured, well, let's get outside and get a few reviews done. So. All right, so hopefully you can see the nice color, kind of a nice light copper type of color. So, and then two things, I like to move the whiskey around in the glass, introduce a little bit of air, and then also more importantly is to see how oily it is. Usually the more oily it is, the more it'll translate to flavor on your palate. So you like to see the oily factorness to it. So this one, not overly oily. Little bit of legs running, but not super oil or anything on that. So, all right, let's get into the nose. Right away, this nice vanilla sweetness, nice medium spice. That rye is definitely present. There's that cornness that's there to it. There's that corn that's there. I mean, it's a barely legal rye. With it being 51% rye and 39% corn, you know, you're gonna have that sweetness that's there. Very similar to like what a high rye bourbon would be. A little bit of like a light mint note to it. Some medium oak, not over oaked by any means. Soft like floral and honey note that's there as well. Still some of those nice caramels. Again, it's very much along the lines of a bourbon nose. It's not heavy rye by any means. Still some of that sweet corn kind of coming through. A little bit of that little more rye spice kind of coming through. Really, really nice. Nice nose, and again, more on the sweeter side. So this is one that I think people like to not only sip on, but it's really, really nice for cocktails. Generally has some nice flavors that are there as well. So, all right, let's more importantly, let's get into the taste. Cheers. All right, so there's the spice. There's the rye that's really starting to come out. And again, for only 51% rye, fairly spicy forward. Some of that mint really starts to come through, and I'm glad that there's more mint than the dill part of it. I know some people struggle with the mint and dill part, but I'm not a huge fan of when the dill becomes a little bit more present in a rye whiskey. That nice honey note, that really nice soft, sweet honey note that's there too. Medium oak, again, not over oaked, didn't get a lot of oak on the nose, not getting a ton of oak on the palate. Soft, dark fruits there as well a little bit. A little bit of that corn presence starts to kind of come out a little bit more. But I'd say all in all, a very, very approachable rye whiskey. I think this is one I can see why there's a little bit more of that hype, or that the reason why people really enjoy this one is I think it's got a really good overall profile. Very approachable for people who maybe just getting into rye whiskey a little bit. This is a little bit more along the lines of like a bourbon type of note, but a really very approachable rye whiskey. Great overall flavor profile to it, and I think would do extremely well in cocktails. The proof is a little bit low. I wish this was maybe upwards of 100 proof for cocktails, but I think there's enough spice factor there that would probably translate into a good, you know, Manhattan, something along those lines. So. But yeah, overall, I just think it's very approachable. There's nothing that's super dominant, nothing that's going to really turn you off, anything along those lines. Just very, very nice, well put together rye whiskey. So if we get into the finish part of it, that oak lingers a little bit along with some of that spice that's there as well. Nice vanilla notes. And kind of something I wasn't getting until like maybe now is a little bit of like a black pepper type of note. It does begin to dry out a little bit as well with the finish kind of lingering a little bit. So the finish part, I would say, is all of medium on this one. So again, overall, I think this is a really, really solid rye whiskey, and would definitely give this a buy recommendation. So definitely something for sipping, cocktails, really whatever it may be. So with that being said, so don't hesitate to go ahead and pick this one up if you're able to find it, again, in that $30, maybe $40 price range. So a really nice rye whiskey for that price range. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into another one of my reviews. Greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to help support the channel, please do so. You can at my Patreon channel, excuse me. So I'll have that linked in the description below as well. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can on obviously Instagram, YouTube, Facebook as well. So again, thank you so much for tuning into another one of my reviews. And like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.